Excuse me. Hi, guys. Good morning. This is Daniel. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me on Patreon through your subscriptions, thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate them. If anybody's interested in supporting this channel, if you enjoy this channel, please check out the drop-down menu of the video description on the YouTube channel on any of the daily videos. In there is all of my contact information, as far as like how to find me on social media, my Instagram, my Facebook business page, all of that. If you're interested in a private reading, you can message me at the Facebook business page. Those are always available to you. They're payable via PayPal. And the PayPal link is also in that video drop down in my link tree. All of my links are in there. I have a Amazon wish list that has decks on it that if you're interested, you would order a deck off of that wish list. Use that link in the link tree, order a deck, and it would automatically get sent to me. You would see it in later broadcasts. That's a great way to support the channel. Using any of my Amazon affiliate links in the video descriptions on the unboxings, I get a brief, small portion of the sale through anything that you purchase if you start your shopping with one of those links. So even if you don't actually buy the deck, but you click on the link to the deck to open up Amazon, I still actually get a percentage of whatever you buy. So those are ways to support the channel. Hitting the thumbs up button is a great way to support the channel. Subscribing to the channel is a great way. Tuning in every day. Questions or comments being left on videos. I love that. I do read all of it, and I like each and every one. If they require an answer, or if I feel like there's something I want to say in response, then I will respond, but I do read them all. So that's a great way to support the channel. Also, sharing out videos, telling your friends about it would be a huge help too. So I ask for your support in those ways if you feel so inclined. I also want to say a quick shout out to a viewer that sent me a donation after doing the water signs for July. She just utilized my PayPal link to just send me some money as a thank you for the content that I create monthly for everybody. And I just want to say thank you, Anne-Marie. I really appreciate that. It was really sweet of you, and it makes me feel good because it helps me to see that you guys are paying attention, that you are finding it, that it's of value and you're enjoying it. So I just wanted to shout out Anne-Marie for doing that because she is actually the first to do that. And it really kind of warmed my heart, made me say like, oh, thank you. So it was a nice surprise to see that in there. And she just was like, this is for all that you do for us. Thank you so much for this month's reading. And so I really appreciate that. So I wanted to put that out there. And I just thought it was actually a really great idea. I hadn't even thought of it. And the fact that she had was rather smart. So if anybody, even if you're a complete stranger and you're watching these videos and you want to send me a tip, you can do so via the Linktree links, my YouTube, not my YouTube, my PayPal link. You can just send me any denomination and it will go to me, and you can just put on there, what it's for, like, even if it's for a private reading or if it's for, if it's just like a tip or a thank you. I appreciate all of it. All right, so let's get into these cards. This is a broad spectrum reading, and it's originally created for Thursday the 24th, and it's the moon full. Oh shit, guys, the moon is full this Thursday the 24th. And it's in Sagittarius, so that's not a bad thing. Full moons are about releasing. Sagittarius is about expansion. I know that Jupiter, which is associated with Sagittarius, is about to go into retrograde if it's not already. Mercury's coming out of retrograde, which is great. So there should be some really interesting energies that are happening with all of that activity that actually, to me, would bring really nice blessings, I have a feeling. So let's see what the cards have to say. This is broad spectrum. It goes for all signs, this reading. You're allowed to take what you need and leave the rest. If it doesn't fit or doesn't seem to make sense, that's okay. Nothing's wrong. You just might be working on something different at this time. If it does fit, or what I say, if it applies to a situation specific that you're dealing with in your life, something pops up in your mind, then certainly feel free to utilize it and utilize it to the best of your ability. The other thing I was going to say is that if you're seeing this on a date that's not the 24th, right? you're seeing this reading, say, a year from now or 2 years from now in a different month altogether, that's okay. I think that the readings reach you when they're supposed to, rather than when they're originally created for. So you have to trust and have faith in that. Have faith that your higher self, your higher power, your spirit guides will find you the right information if you're open and ready to receive it. So keep that in mind, okay? All right, so let's see what the cards want us to know today. Sorry, that was a lot of housekeeping, but I was just thought I should share all of that. I was also really impressed with what Anne-Marie had done yesterday. I was like, it sort of surprised me. All right, so our card for today. Wow, I'll take it. High Priestess, Archangel Haniel. It is powerful psychic insights, reflection, and meditation that provides valuable information. Be at peace. High Priestess is Major Arcana. I like that we're on this sort of Major Arcana kick. We have not only yesterday's Justice card, right? But we have the High Priestess. Again, we see the pillars in the background. She is one of the pillars of the Major Arcana. She's about psychic strength, intuitional strength, trusting our own information over that of others. She can be about secrets at times, right? Sort of having an awareness that maybe others don't necessarily have. She's associated with it. Sorry that the screen is pulsing like that. I don't know why it does that at times. She's associated with the sign of Pisces, which is highly not only emotional but also psychic. So she's the keeper of the secrets in a way. She is the oracle. She is able to see, maybe even outside of the box, or see things from a perspective that not many others are. Sometimes her information, when it comes to us, it can maybe be confusing or not necessarily make sense. The reason why I say that today, that's a traditional meaning for the High Priestess, but the reason why I say that today is because we saw Justice yesterday, and underneath the underpinning of all of this is that Tower card, which is the change your life. There might be some things that come to us today that give us an awareness or a deeper sense of knowing that maybe we're not being previously revealed to us. You also see that a little bit mirrored in the Justice card from yesterday, because Justice will be about the balancing of the scales, things sliding back into what's right. And usually there's realizations that come from that, or truths that are told that sort of reset the playing field, if that makes sense. The High Priestess to me also could indicate not giving up all of your secrets at this time, remaining quiet, remaining mum or patient as you work your way through whatever you're working through. You need to remember, if you are dealing with anything that might require, where you may want to speak up or get into the fray, get into the argument, the debate, whatever. The High Priestess kind of holds her cards close to her chest, right? She doesn't necessarily give up all of her knowledge so easily. She values her knowledge, she values her awareness, and she trusts it above all else. So if we're looking at a situation and we're maybe valuing ourselves or perceiving, our worth or our importance through how we're being treated in a situation or how a situation is working out for us, that would be a mistake with the High Priestess here. The High Priestess to me is about listening to our own internal intuitional voice, trusting that above all else, even if it doesn't quite make sense, right? Even if we don't feel like, maybe we have all of the answers as of yet, we will receive all of the answers through introspection, meditation, connection, patience. Okay, so keeping that in mind today, I feel like we've seen a series of very sort of strong cards, but they require us to be almost, how do I want to say this? Like detached in a way, right? We've started with we have that underpinning of that Tower sort of change your life card, but we had that King of Swords, which would be very analytical, anti-emotional, discerning, decisive, working through things from a very sort of practical way, right? And that to me is a little bit detached in a way, not as emotionally like connected in. And not for a safety aspect, but just for clarity's sake. And then we see that again in the Libra representation of the Justice card yesterday. Now we have a little bit more emotion, certainly with the High Priestess, because she's associated with Pisces, but she's so tuned in, right? She's so tuned in, she doesn't necessarily need to go there and get into the fray or all super involved. She trusts her information or her intuition, what she knows to be true and how she sees things over anything and everything else. That's the strength of her status as a pillar card. So, and also we saw two pillar cards, the Justice card and the High Priestess. We also saw the Strength Stone 2 days ago. So there is an emphasis on remaining kind of in our lane, staying centered, and looking at our truth and living from that truth, even if that truth is challenging to others, or if others are maybe challenging that truth from outside of us. Does that make sense? But we don't need to worry about that with the strength of the High Priestess. We just need to trust what we know from within. All right. So, and the energy oracle is door to personal healing and happiness. Shit, I will take that any day now. Card number 34, which is a 7. Sevens are transitions in the sense that they're very transitory to me, but they're also about, in my opinion, making a conscious choice towards moving to something better. And when I see this here, and I think about what we've been talking about as far as with that Change Your Life Tower card, where I keep saying this week, we should be making that conscious choice to move away from something that's no longer serving us, move away from the thing that's built on faulty foundations, move away from the thing that's no longer giving us what we need or treating us, if it's a behavior, it may be something within us. It doesn't necessarily have to be some person or situation outside of us that we need to blame or be victim to. It could just be, sometimes for me, procrastination is a bitch, guys. So I have to look at where I'm procrastinating or where I'm being lazy or checking out and not taking on the responsibilities of the day. And then, through that truth, through that analytical look, which would be the King of Swords, the Justice comes about, the balance of the scales tip, I get back into my intuition of the High Priestess, and I need to trust my information, and then I get to move on to this door of personal healing and happiness, right? Through trusting this sense of self, or this deeper intuitional aspect of ourselves, we open the doors to that personal happiness and healing. But we have to be consciously doing that. We have to want that. We need to want to desire that and then go after it. We don't want to sit in the muck and mire of, oh, poor me. I know this is never going to work out. I don't understand what I've done wrong. Why won't people treat me the way I need to be treated? It's not about them, guys. It's about us. It's about taking care of us first and foremost. It's about being true to ourselves and to our truth. I love that she has this arch behind her and she has this arch here, right? We've got almost 2 doorways. First, we have to acknowledge the High Priestess that is within us, the intuitional truth and trust, strength, and dialogue that's happening there. We have to listen to that. And then we have to, even if it doesn't fully make sense, follow some of that dialogue, right? Act on some of that dialogue and allow us to make that conscious choice to move forward towards our own personal healing and happiness. All right, I'm down for that. All right, let's look at the grounding stone. And like I said, there could be some situations that may not be easy with that tower underneath. The changing of our life, there might be something that we're very used to, even though it's not for us anymore. And sometimes it's easier to stay stuck or mired in something that's not because it's familiar, rather than take the risk of standing in our own power or learning about our power and then acting from it. So this is on rose quartz, which is a pink stone associated with the heart, which I love. And because to me, the heart would also be somewhat of the Pisces influence of the High Priestess. But the word today is learn. I would say that this would be about grounding in what we can learn about our own higher knowledge or our higher self, our own spiritual self, the truth of that, the emotional connection to that. Learn how to go about sort of making the conscious choice that we see here, to opening the door to personal healing and happiness, to making that a possibility today, to allowing that to be our goal today, right? And what do we learn about ourselves as we go through that process? Sometimes we see things we don't necessarily like or feel comfortable with. Sometimes we see areas where we've limited ourselves or held ourselves back through staying wherever we've been that doesn't serve us. That's okay. That's a part of life. but it can make us uncomfortable. So people put blinders on and don't want to deal with it. Today's not that day, right? Today's not the day to put those blinders on. Today is the day to learn about ourselves, to give ourselves a, a wide berth, right? Don't be like, judgy of yourself. If you are working with yourself, the door to personal healing and happiness is available to each and every one of us. And it's a beautiful thing to give to ourselves. It can be sometimes scary. It can be intimidating, right? But it's certainly something that we all deserve. But it's also something that's not going to be given to us unless we go after it, unless we seek the change, unless we make the conscious choice, unless we step into sort of our strength and our power, our own internal knowledge, and trust that, learn from that, and remain open. That is your forecast for the day. I hope it makes sense, guys. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up button and share it with others. And subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Ideally, hopefully, I will put up more of the tarot scopes, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.